very happy. Strange and sad maybe to some people, but I'm really just happy when I see planes. Hello from Frankfurt Airport. I'm gonna go on a very beautiful flight tonight. It's gonna be Lufthansa First Class, and I'm really looking forward to that. Well, and I also wanna have a look at the numerous lounges that Lufthansa offers to its passengers here in Frankfurt Airport. I wanna have a look at the business class lounge, the senator lounge, the first class lounge, and the first class terminal. Go around with me here in Frankfurt Airport, have a look at those lounges. Oh look, there's the smokers lounge.
That's of course not a Lufthansa lounge. Well, today everything is about first class, but on the way, let's just have a look at the lounge categories Lufthansa offers here at Frankfurt Airport. The Lufthansa Business Lounge caters to Lufthansa Miles & More members with frequent traveler status and Lufthansa and Star Alliance business class passengers. Senator lounges invite Miles & More Senator members and Star Alliance Gold members, as well as first class passengers of another Star Alliance airline. However, the Lufthansa First Class lounges are reserved for first class passengers of Lufthansa and Swiss only, as well as HON members of Lufthansa. And with the huge first class lounges, Lufthansa is taking the lounge experience to a whole new level with an amazing selection of food and beverages, large resting areas, a cigar lounge, an a la carte restaurant, beautiful bathrooms with jacuzzi tubs, large vanity areas and walk-in showers. And look at that cute collectible bathtub duck that you can take home.
Well, I must say, Lufthansa First Class Lounge is amazing. This is not the terminal, it's only the lounge. I mean, it's the First Class Lounge. Well, I already kind of undressed. I will go into this tub now, and I'm really looking forward to a nice jacuzzi. And I think it's even better than in the terminal because there's nobody here. So, after this wonderful hour at Lufthansa First Class Lounge at Terminal A, I'm continuing through this really ugly weather and cold, ugly, humid weather onto the Lufthansa First Class Terminal.
The Lufthansa First Class Terminal offers the same fantastic amenities and facilities of the First Class Lounge, but on top you get a private valet service, a personal assistant that guides you through security, and that's a private security check, and you even get your own private duty-free shop. So to sum it all up, after seeing the first class terminal and lounge in Frankfurt, I can only say, if you have a first class ticket, don't go just to the flight, but take your time, go early enough to the airport to really profit from those fantastic lounges. And it's gonna lift up your experience to a level as great as the flight experience itself. Well, the time over here at the Lufthansa First Class Terminal comes to an end, and it's time to board the plane, which will be by limousine. And a personal assistant picked me up from the lounge and escorted me down to the car park, where a Porsche Cayenne is already waiting for me to give me a private personal limousine transfer from the lounge to my plane. Here we're passing by some gorgeous airport scenery with some exciting planes and containers and crew buses. And finally we're arriving at my plane, which is gonna be a Boeing 747-8i. My home for the next 10 hours.
I'm very happy.
Now if your plane is parked at the gate, you still have to enter the terminal from the car, and from there you walk into the plane through the passenger bridge. And here we'll have a look at the first couple of windows that all belong to seat number 1A, which is my seat on this flight. By the way, Lufthansa granted me permission to board the plane a little earlier, before all the other passengers would board the plane. So that gave me the time to take this video and show really all the cabins of a Boeing 747 of Lufthansa. Here we see business class, which comes directly behind the first class. Then comes a small section of economy class. Of course, the first row has a little more leg room. Then comes the section for premium economy. Here you have a picture of me sitting in one of those seats on an earlier flight. And after the premium economy comes the main cabin of economy class, with the first row having quite a lot of space for the legs and also personal monitors, and the other rows being just regular rows. I find it always a little tight to sit in Lufthansa's economy class, even on long-haul flights, but it's a matter of taste, I guess, and also a matter of body size or leg size. Here's also one of the rows that are good if you want to have a good leg room. And from there we walk all the way back again to the front. And on the way I just took the time to sit down on one of those premium economy seats, so you see how the distance looks like between the two seat rows. Now we go all the way up the stairs to the sacred upper deck, which belongs to business class in Lufthansa's Boeing 747. The whole cabin, by the way, the whole plane is very clean, looks very new, really in a very, very good shape. So here we are in business class, again on the upper deck. You see there's a lot of seats for business class at Lufthansa's Boeing 747. This is a very nice and intimate feeling up here on the upper deck, almost like in a private plane, kind of. But now let's rush back, because passengers are coming now, and I still want to get to my cabin, of course, which is gonna be first class tonight. Now we're just walking back towards the nose of the plane through business class over here. And here we have a last look at that. And here I'm welcomed by two beautiful red roses which mark the entrance to first class. The first class cabin has an open and warm colored design with 8 large chairs that also have individual partition walls for more privacy during the flight. You see, nuts are already prepared, welcome drinks are chilled, and here it is, my seat number 1A. The rose is there, champagne is being served, and I think I'm all set for this flight tonight.
So here I am in seat number 1A. It's so much nicer even than I imagined. I mean, imagination is always beautiful, but sitting there is also very beautiful. Sorry, that was the gin or whiskey. So this is the seat. This is the champagne. That's the monitor, and there's an ottoman, a footrest. Here's my 3 or 4 windows that I have only to myself, and there's a lot of storage. I will show that in a moment. And I'm really looking forward to this flight.
So let's have a little tour of the seat. There's an ottoman footrest that also serves as a storage, a quite spacious storage actually, that even holds your cabin luggage. Then there's more compartments for storage on the side of the seat. Here you see I put my camera stand already, and there's also the Bose noise cancelling headsets. Then there's another compartment that holds more. Oh, there's an Amenity Kit that I brought from another airline. It's quite handy to put stuff in there. Anyway, there's a cup holder, and then there's a personal reading lamp, which is normal on a seat like that, but it's also very handy. Then there's a remote control. Actually, the seat armrest looked a little stained. Actually, it was a little stained. It was not dirty though. The stains didn't look very appealing though. However, the remote control is good and quite handy, and there's also shortcuts for volume up and down, and to put up and down the brightness of the monitor. Then there's the remote control, or the control actually, of the seat, to bring it back and forward and to a 180 degrees flat lying bed position. So altogether the seat is very comfortable and very good. The only downturn maybe is the monitor screen, which is a little small, especially for the distance from the seats.
Eventual emergency landing. Your cabin attendants will also be happy to help you. We're now ready for takeoff.
Well, I must say that the crew was really wonderful, welcoming us. They introduced themselves by name, and they knew my name, of course, too. So it's like, actually, it's like they had known me like forever. So that's a really nice feeling, of course. Although, of course, they read it from a paper, but it really felt like they know me since a long time. And so did also the captain. He came over here and introduced himself, and it felt very genuine, actually. So that's quite an accomplishment. Now we're starting. We're starting to taxi.
When the wireless hotspot and mobile network are available. Please consult your Lufthansa magazine for details about these services.
But now let's enjoy the takeoff from the nose of the jumbo jet, sitting far away from the engines, and you will be surprised what you're gonna hear or what you're not gonna hear. Now that's pretty amazing, isn't it? Total silence once the wheels are in. There's one more sound surprise. Well, during the climb there's not so much to do, so I tried out again a little window blinds, how they go up and down, very cute. When I opened them again, we passed over Munich, that's the region where I originally come from, and we already got into some turbulences, which I always love, because I love turbulences. And they have nothing to do with Lufthansa or Boeing, and no matter if you're in low cost or in first class, you can get into turbulences, it's just winds. So that's the partition wall that goes up and down very easily, and gives you a really big amount of privacy, so you feel like being in your own private cabin.
Well, I must say I'm pretty surprised how quiet the start was. It was a very quiet start. I heard only the fuselage going in, the wheels coming in. It was quite surprising and really nice to hear. But for the rest of the flight until now it was super quiet. So it's maybe like a car, or even less noisy than a car. With champagne as a start welcome drink, I was not so...
Actually, I was just a little surprised that the champagne didn't taste as great as I would have expected. But then I was wondering a little, and I asked the flight attendant if that was really the champagne, a high-class champagne that was on the menu. And she said no. So I was a little surprised, and I asked for the champagne from the menu. And I got it, and that was a whole different level. It was a really good champagne. I know that's first world problems, but here we are in first class at a really high price, no matter if miles or cash, and everything should be fine, I think. Now, about 1 hour into the flight, the crew set the tables for dinner, with a nice tablecloth and silverware, as well as a good selection of bread, including garlic bread and butter that was even stamped first class. And after an amuse-bouche, they start with their famous caviar service. And that's caviar with the traditional garnishes, such as egg white, egg yolk, sour cream, onions, lemon, toast instead of blinis, and iced vodka that comes in an iced glass. Well, I think I'll just let the pictures speak for themselves now.
Möchten Sie einen Toast dazu? Ja, das wäre doch ganz gut.
Ich habe hier
Absolut. Danke.
Well, caviar service is already pretty impressive by itself, I would say. But they serve the caviar individually from a buffet trolley with large spoons from a chilled container, and all in a very personal and charming way, completely unpretentious, and that I like a lot. By the way, I was very happy to see that they use also high quality glassware, and I can prove that because I come from a place very close to this one, that's Schott Zwiesel, a glass company of old tradition from Bavaria. Now, while digesting the caviar, let's have a look at the menu for this flight. It starts with the welcome and then the courses for tonight's dinner, which is appetizers, main courses and desserts, of course, and then the menu for tomorrow's breakfast. And of course there's also a large selection of wines and beverages on this flight, starting with champagne and aperitifs, white wines, red wines, port wine, dessert wine, liqueurs, spirits, and of course non-alcoholic cold and hot beverages. I had just started with an excellent glass of wine when the appetizers came all at once. Well, I must confess that they didn't really meet my expectations. I'm sure they were of really high quality, but they consisted only of cold cuts and marinated fish, which I actually both like, but I wasn't really inspired that this was the only choice of appetizers. For the main course I ordered fish, and I was just not very lucky on that evening because the fish unfortunately was really dry. However, the risotto under the fish was so amazing that I had even 2 servings of the risotto only.
Aber der schmeckt fantastisch.
And she was right, this cheese platter was not from this world.
Well, I must say I'm actually quite happy that I don't fly first all the time, because I would probably gain 10 kilograms, like 20 pounds a month. The main course was not that fantastic, but for example the cheese is amazing, and that really goes on the hips.
Finally, it was time to go to bed. I left my mess behind and the flight attendant came to transform my comfortable seat into an even more comfortable bed with a really good mattress and a super fluffy and cozy duvet. In the meantime, I went to the bathroom to get changed into my pajamas. Lufthansa provide as a gift really beautiful pajamas made by Laak. That's a very good German brand. Here you see me before the change into the pajamas, and now comes the picture in the pajama. You see it's a really nice one. And your clothes you can put in a closet. Every first class passenger has his or her personal closet as well. So when I came back to the seat, everything was prepared for a good night's sleep.
Well, actually I wanted to shut up after dinner, or super late dinner, but I just cannot believe how really comfortable this bed is. It's a super comfy bed. Maybe it's a tiny little harder than at home, but otherwise it feels like at home. It's a really comfy bed, and the mattress is great. The comforter is great. It's a really nice comforter, really nice duvet. I got 2 pillows and it's super cozy and nice. It's really super high quality. So all good reports about first class and sleeping in first class of Lufthansa are really true.
But of course I have to show you the Amenity Kit before I sleep. So you see that's a really nice green leather bag by Windsor. And now let's have a look what is inside. So there's a shoehorn, then you get brown socks for the flight, an ear protection for the headsets. Well, that I saw a little too late, but anyway, I listened to really wonderful music on that flight. And then you get a real highlight of the Amenity Kit, which is eyeshades that are really high quality and super luxurious and feel really great on the face. Then you have beauty products by Prairie. then toothbrush and toothpaste with some fisherman's friend, and then some earplugs, and they will show to be really useful on this very flight. Why? You will see in about maybe 15 seconds. And then there's a comb and a brush. So altogether this makes a really nice amenity kit that you can use later at home or on your journeys. Well, the real big noise that night didn't come from the engines.
It's got a nice fresh orange juice. Was waked up or woken up with a nice warm wet towel, and it's time for breakfast now. I can use the bathroom now to freshen up, and we have breakfast. So, the night is over. I had a very nice night here. It was very bumpy flight, very turbulent weather, so it was really shaking all the time. But actually I like it. It's like being in a I don't know, what is it, a baby roller? Yeah. Like shaking around and getting to sleep in that way, so that was really nice. I like it. You know it's safe anyway, so nothing can happen. Now I'm gonna have another hour and a half until landing, and it's enough time to enjoy this breakfast. I got some muesli, some fruit, orange juice, tropical fruit smoothie, and a croissant. And there's this very cute butter stamped first class. So anyway, it's a nice experience. I got greeted by the flight attendant again, wishing me a good morning. It was very personal, a nice little talk, and so it's really overall a very nice experience.
The only thing I missed at breakfast was a freshly prepared muesli, something like a bircher muesli. Instead they served packed muesli. Well, that's okay. On the savory side though, they offer omelette and scrambled eggs freshly prepared in a frying pan.
So we just started our descent. I hope you enjoyed watching this little movie about my trip in Lufthansa's first class on Boeing 747-8i. As much as I did, I really did.
And there was so much to enjoy on and around this flight, starting with the Lufthansa First Class Lounge in Frankfurt, with a jacuzzi tub and the bathtub duck. Some great drinks and food, the private limousine service to the plane, and of course the whole first class cabin experience. But also my private walk throughout the plane before the passengers arrived. That was really fantastic, and thanks a lot again for that to the captain. They had a very good amenity kit, and by the way, really good slippers. I didn't say that before. Caviar service was wonderfully unpretentious. I liked that a lot. The food overall was okay, it was good, but the pajamas were great. And the bed must be one of the best in the sky, so I can only say
it was a wonderful experience, and if you liked it, have a look soon again in my channel. I'm sure there's going to be a video very soon again. And if you liked it very much, thumbs up. I would be very happy about that.
And with these pictures of our approach into morning Johannesburg on the other side of the globe, I want to thank you for watching. If you want to stay tuned, subscribe, that would be fantastic. There's quite a number of more interesting videos in the planning and already in the making, including airlines such as Qatar, Emirates, British Airways, Iberia, economy and business class, and also some low-cost carriers in Africa, Asia and Europe, as well as some destination vlogs. So, hit the subscribe button. If you're a big aviation fan like me and like to see the full approach and landing, just have a look at my video list. I'll prepare an extra uncommented footage of that. Now, thank you again and see you again soon on my channel, Travel, Sing, Fly.